Okay, greetings. Hey, this is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. Today's Sunday, one of my favorite days of the week. Everything slows right down, and when we're going through our processes here in the morning, it's just mellow because we know we're not going to take on anything huge for the day. So I just finished milking, and I'm needing to get to this last category here. Glass, straw. All right, now I was being facetious. I'm saying minimum that you need. You know, you could get away with just a glass because you have a bucket, you've just milked. Into that bucket, you could scoop some out, and then if you didn't even have a glass, if you had a straw, you could drink that milk right out of your milk bucket. Well, of course, we're probably not going to do that. We might have a step in between there. As I said to you yesterday, I think, I filter the milk, and it's pretty easy to get filters. Dairy supply places have them. I got a whole box of them that they just gave to me because nobody does this anymore, and they had a bunch on the shelf. And it's a big box, so I don't think I'm going to be buying any anytime soon, but you could use paint, filters that they sell. I get them from the automotive store, and they're clean, so you could use those if you had to, or you could use a piece of cheesecloth. I don't really like that because then you have to clean that, but I mean, if you didn't have, if it was a poor situation and you didn't have the ability to go and buy this stuff, then you have to use what you have to use. I mean, if the milk, let's say you suck up a chunk of dirt, you really got to filter that milk. And let's say you suck up a piece of manure, you might not even want that milk. That milk might need to go to the chickens in that case. Worst case scenario, you can just take off one of your socks and filter it through there, and it'll be fine. Okay, so I just want to finish this up. This was just like a little mini series. And again, the whole purpose of this is to drive you towards bakersgreenacres.com and push on that button that says Homesteaders Guild. Pay the $2.99 and take the class. It's going to be starting up the second week of January. If you need to make an inquiry, go ahead. We'd love to talk to you about it. We have several people in the class already, and the last one was really good. This is going to be the winter edition, and some of these things I'm going to get into far deeper than this. Plus, we have the conversation support call on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. One of my favorite things to do is sit down with a bunch of other homesteaders and talk about, the direction that we want to go and how it's changing, the life that we've been given, It's definitely a life changer. There's something about providing sustenance for the body you've been given and the bodies of your family members that is very fulfilling. It wakes up parts of your brain that probably go to sleep if you go and sit in a cubicle all day. And again, I'm not saying ditch the cubicle job and become a farmer. I'm saying this is the part-time job, right? Now, some of you may go on to be commercial farmers. That's cool. But that's not what the Homesteaders Guild is about. It's about talking about skills and then trying those skills out, honing those skills, and then talking about how it makes us people, how it makes us better people, and how some of these skills came about. I mean, whoever thought of eating, let's say, a clam, right? But somebody did. All right, and on the last category here of glass straw, I have milk, butter, and cheese. All right, if you have a cow like we do, we have two of them, and that's just so I can alternate their breeding, and I like to have two calves instead of just one calf a year. You're going to get all the milk you can drink. If you get smart about it, you don't need a butter churn. All you need to do is let the milk age a little bit, and you could put it in a mason jar and just shake it up and down on your knee. Making cheese, I'm not going to go into that now because I'm not the one that does it here. Jill is, but she does classes about cheese making, and she's going to be in this coming set of classes for the Homesteaders Guild, which is 12 weeks, by the way. She's going to teach a couple of the blocks, and one of them is going to be cheese making, because that's something you can do in the wintertime, all right? When your cow starts milking, one of these cows, like I have, you get about 4 gallons of milk tops, and then they level off where she is right now, about 1.5 gallons. And then she's going to go even lower. She's going to go to 1 gallon. But we will still milk her every day because 1 gallon of milk is something that's needed in my household. Okay, so there we go. There you have it. I'd like to say that milking a cow is one of the processes that we do here, and it becomes almost the first thing that I do in the morning. Really, the first thing I do is come in and I get a fire going in this shop area, and I keep that fire going all day long because there's several things that I have to do in here. But this is where I take care of my milking equipment. I even take my jars of milk and I set them way over there by the windows where it's cool, to cool off the milk. Or if on a day like today when it's not too cold, I'll put them right outside. And right now I have a supply of about 4 gallons of milk. So the milk that we use about 1 gallon a day. We're using the milk that was milked 4 days ago. And at some point we might bring it all in, put it in the separator, take all that cream, put it in the churn, and that'll be our butter for a week. So it's a great process. I have enjoyed it. Every day I do something to make it a little bit easier on me. And that's something that you have to consider too. Like if you come here and you see how our operation is, it wasn't always like this. I mean, when we started out, this building that I'm standing in wasn't even here. We were butchering chickens out here, and this was muddy out here and cold. And, so we improved it. And this is part of the Homesteaders Guild too, is we talk about, all right, what's the minimums that you need to do a process? Minimums. And then how can you, if you're going to throw $20 at it to make it better, where would be the place to put it, right? And it's experience that gives you the ability to make that call. And, it'd be nice if everybody was gathering around the kitchen table on a Sunday evening and listening to the older people talk about how they did things. But that doesn't happen anymore. So that's one of the things that this Homesteaders Guild provides, is a place where we can talk about these things that we're doing. And we cover topics from laying chickens all the way to making prosciutto hams and everything in between. I mean, we talk about tools, we talk about firearms, we talk about greenhouses, we talk about gardening, we talk about compost. Anything that somebody wants to talk about, we will talk about. And most of these processes I've been exposed to, some of it a lot more than others, and I'm still gaining. I'm still trying out new processes. And actually we had a guy here this year that brought bees, and he set up a bee operation here, and it was really neat. I didn't do that, but I got to help with that. And as per usual, my phone just rang, and I put it on decline, but it will ring again. Okay, so I'm going to sign off for now. Remember, anyone can farm.